A very good day to you and welcome back. My name is Sudhir Shenoy, and in this video I shall be discussing how much investment risk you should take and how to mitigate the investment risk. Before proceeding further, adjust your headset volume to a comfortable level and make sure you have switched on to the full screen view so that you do not miss out on any points that may otherwise be hidden behind the toolbars. What is your risk tolerance and how much risk can you live with? Let's look at this simple diagram, which is a linear representation of the graph that we discussed in the previous video. The figures that you see indicate the returns that you can make. If I ask any person where they would like to be on the line as far as the returns on their investment is concerned, most people would immediately gravitate towards the 8% to 10% high return section because these rates of return look the best. However, when the full picture is revealed and it is pointed out that a return of 8% to 10% is accompanied by the risk of losing 30% of the investment in any given year, many people would recoil at that thought and move to something a little less risky. If you chose to go for a medium risk investment, you are looking at the possibility of losing 15% of your investment in any given year. If that is still too much risk for you, you can opt for a lower risk investment. With high quality low risk investments, you can potentially lose only about 5% of your investment in a bad year. But fortunately, that does not happen very often. The percentages in these simple illustrations are not set in stone. These are just rough numbers and you could lose more or less than these estimates, but the idea here is to inform you of what can happen and what will happen from time to time. If you invest in any investment category for a long enough period of time, you should experience some losing years with losses that are comparable to this illustration. However, most people in the investment community generally say that if you hold on to a quality investment for a long period of time, you should earn a good rate of return. No one can guarantee this, but this seems to be the way that things generally work. If you do not want to expose yourself to any risk, then your safest bet is to invest in government bonds. These pay low rates of return, but they are safest of the investment. The next safest investment would be the term deposits from your bank. An important concept to be aware of is that no investment is without risk. Let me repeat, no investment is without risk. Governments can collapse or lose investors' confidence, bankers can fail, and the best of the companies can go bankrupt. When it comes to investing money, there is truly no such thing as a safe investment. Every investment has got risks. Some investments have got very low amounts of risk compared to others, but no investment can be called completely safe. Credit ratings. Now, in the business world, risk is measured by credit ratings. Credit ratings assess the credit worthiness of an individual, corporation, or even a country. Credit ratings are calculated from the financial history and current assets and current liabilities. The ratings tell the investor or the lender the probability of the borrower being able to pay back a loan. The low rating indicates a high risk of defaulting and therefore carries a high interest rate. The better rating a business has, the less risky it is perceived to be. Governments usually have the best credit ratings because if they need more money, they can either raise the taxes or print more currency. Large banks are often next in line with the next best credit ratings, and then the ratings move down from there on. The better credit rating an organization has, the less interest it has to pay to attract people's investment. Everybody knows that there is less in risk involved in investing in government bonds than there is investing in bonds of a public or a private company. Credit rating reflects this knowledge, and so government doesn't have to offer investors as much rating interest as a company would because investing with the government involves lesser risk than investing in a company. Make sure that you will be able to sleep at night with the investment choices that you make. A good investment professional should be able to help you with this. Or you can do some thorough research into your investment choices to put your mind at rest. In India, the following are some of the agencies which provide the credit rating services. These include CRISIL, ICRA, CARE and Fitch. The ratings provided by these agencies give you some idea about the amount of risk that you are undertaking while making your investments. Here are some pointers on managing your investment risk. Never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. If some option seems to be too good to be true, then it usually is. It would do well to exercise some extra caution. Do your homework and consult your investment advisor. Always consider what the worst case scenario could be with every investment decision that you make. The riskier the investment you choose, the higher are the odds that a worst case scenario will occur and you will lose a lot of money. Invest in different classes of investments that have varying degrees of investment risk. We shall discuss this in detail in the slides that follow. And last but not the least, resist the temptation to invest based on hot tips. How does inflation impact our behavior towards risk? It would have been wonderful if we were living in a world devoid of inflation, because all the risk averse individuals would simply put their savings in low risk investments and spend a worry free life. But as we discussed, low risk investments give a low return which could be 5 to 6%. Now suppose the economy has an inflation of 7% or more, then these returns would not keep up with the inflation, and in real terms you would end up losing money. Over a period of time, you would have to dig into your invested corpus, which would lower the future returns, and this would set in motion a dangerous downward spiral. So when inflation rate is higher than the rate of post-tax returns, people are driven to look at riskier investment options. So how to minimize your investment risk while getting a reasonably good returns? That's right, diversify. Diversify your investment portfolio, and diversifying is a sophisticated way of saying that do not put all your eggs in one basket. Putting all your money in one asset class has its pitfalls. For instance, you could make mistakes, or a judgment could go wrong, or hot tips might fail. And what are the likely consequences of this? It's quite obvious. The value of the entire investment could go tumbling down, and where would that leave the investor? Well, there you go. This gentleman did not follow the principle of diversification and put all his money in one asset class which went bust. You sure do not want to end up like him. So what do we need to do? Every financial planner worth his salt will give you this sound advice. That's right. Do not put all your financial eggs in one basket. That's Mr. Warren Buffett, considered one of the most successful investors of our times. He too has the same advice to all investors. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. If you are at a stage in life where you have made significant investments, pause for a while and ponder if you have put all your money in one asset class. If yes, here is what you got to do after completing this module. List out a few asset classes which are spread over the risk spectrum. Decide how much of your money from your current investment you would be able to move into each of these. Have a time-bound plan. It could be 3 to 6 months. Liquidate a part of your current investments and move it into a different asset class. If you do not want to disturb your existing investment, or if your existing investments are earmarked for a specific purpose and liquidating that would result in a loss or liquidating them is not possible, then leave that as it is. Ensure all your future investments that you make are made in different asset classes with a view to distribute your investment risk. At the end of this exercise, you would have distributed your investments into different asset classes, from the ones that are relatively less riskier like fixed deposits, corporate deposits and mutual funds, which yield you a steady income, to the more riskier ones like equity, derivatives, antiques, coins, old wine, etc., which are high in risk but appreciate considerably over a period of time. Every type of investment will experience ups or downs over a period of time. Over the recent years, we have seen the greatest bull market in the history, followed by two global stock market crashes. This was followed by one of the greatest real estate buying frenzies and collapses in history for the US and other nations. If you had invested all your money in stocks or real estate that was affected by these market collapses, you would have lost a lot of money. You need to consult your financial planner to take his advice in this matter and select the asset class that are commensurate with your ability to take risk and your risk appetite. How does diversification of your portfolio minimize your risk? Let's assume that some of the high risk, high return asset class in which you have invested go bust. Let us say the derivatives that you are playing result in a huge loss. Your precious antiques and art gallery is gutted in a fire, and your wine cellar is flooded and all your wine goes down with the water. So where does that leave you? Well, there is a lot to cheer about. You still got other investments intact. Everything is not lost. Suppose you had not diversified your portfolio and put all your money in one highly risky asset class, say derivatives. Now where does that leave you? Perhaps in the corner of some street? Pause for a while and think about it. I hope you have enjoyed going through this session as much as I have enjoyed taking you through this. The purpose of this video was to make you aware of the fact that no investment is completely risk free and that different degrees of risks are associated with different classes of investment. The amount of risk that you take should be commensurate with your ability to take risk and your risk appetite. Although investment risk cannot be totally avoided, it can be mitigated by diversification. The topics discussed in this video are to be applied at the time of implementation of the action points arising out of your financial plan. I invite you to send your feedback, suggestions and comments on this video and all the previous videos. In case you need any clarification on the topics discussed, do feel free to write to me at the email ID that you see on the screen, that is domyfinancialplan@gmail.com. I shall make every effort and endeavor to address your query. Thank you so much for watching this video and have a great day.